Like in your own industry of entertainment, when we've gone from cable to OTT, it's actually startups that have done the
Of
job,
course, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So because the content creators remain the same. Actually, that's also changed.
That's changed, no?
I think the rules of the game have changed in entertainment. That's also what's happening with EVs. Right? The
Right.
rules of the game have changed.
See, I'll tell you what is happening in my industry, right?
Guys, कब तक? When do you think, and if ever, and is this even practical? When will you see 100% electric vehicles on the road? Like, what do you guys think? Or is it necessary? Is it practical? Is it useful?
It'll definitely go electric very quickly. And I think the answer is based on category, right? I think like commercial vehicles will go electric really fast, right? Because we're at the tipping point where electrification makes sense, and it's all a very cost-driven, efficiency-driven segment. So like I said, three-wheelers are already 50% electric already.
Is that true?
50% of new three-wheelers sold are electric.
So, just to put it another way, if say I'm going to Bangalore airport and I see 100 three-wheelers, how many of them will be electric?
So that's an installed base question, right? Because we've sold IC engine vehicles for like 20, 30 years.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we have all that baggage to clean up. But so that will probably take longer. So when you look at installed base, where 100 vehicles on the road, will all of them go electric? I think that will take, because generally a vehicle has a 10-year lifespan in India.
Right.
So it takes 10 years. I've already bought an IC engine vehicle last year.
Yeah.
So that's only going to get out of the road 10 years from now. But what we can control is what are the new vehicles getting on road.
Because my guess is it's around 1 in 10 or 1.5 in 10 is what I see on the road.
But that's changing fast, right? The amount of, or let's say the percentage of electric vehicle growth story is much more higher than what is selling in ICE. So ICE might be growing, while they have a very large base as compared to EV. ICE might be growing at what, 3 to 5%, not more than that for sure. EV is growing at more than 20-25% right now. So eventually it will catch up 5, 7, 8, 10 years down the line, but it will catch up and grow much more faster, is how we see
So
it.
generally
I'm
the
not
rule is,
doubting.
let's say there are 100 vehicles in a category. Every year you're adding 10 to it. So 100 three-wheelers on the road today, you're adding 10 to it. But out of the 10, 5 are already electric. Right? So technically 5% in 1 year, you've 5% of the vehicles are electrified. Right? And 10 have been deleted. Right? Because they've now been scrapped. Now what's happening is also the rate at which is being deleted is fast. Like in Delhi, for example, their policy is forcing you to delete faster. New companies are bringing incentives so you to delete faster. So that suddenly from 5 out of 10, 5 out of 100 could become 50 out of 100 very, very quickly.
I think fundamentally in our business case, there's a clear example of Europe. So Europe started promoting electric bikes in 2016. From 16 to 20, they gave out 30% subsidies on the product. Today in Europe, 7 out of 10 bikes that are sold are electric. Normal bikes, that's a comparison to the normal bike, right? So they've already started electrifying a lot of commute, and I'm sure they'll keep promoting it. Same is going to happen with India. It might not happen with subsidies, but I think the use case is driving the sales today rather than the subsidy. We strongly believe in next 5 to 7 years, we'll be able to replace every single premium bicycle in the country with an electric. It can be.
Got it.
To answer your previous question on startups, I'm generally referring
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Like in your own industry of entertainment, when we've gone from cable to OTT, it's actually startups that have done the
Of
job,
course, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So because the content creators remain the same. Actually, that's also changed. Right?
That's it, no?
So I think the rules of the game have changed in entertainment. Right? That's also what's happening with EVs, right? The
Right.
rules of the game have changed.
See, I'll tell you what is happening in my industry, right? A lot of incumbents of ours were selling normal bikes, and they wanted to, of course, step into electric bikes. Now, 98% of the revenue is coming from normal bikes. When an e-bike comes into play, it says that normal bike is stupid. You shouldn't buy that bike. You're wasting it eventually, wasting your money by buying it. You can't contradict your own business, 95% of your revenue saying that. So, and that's where the challenge is sitting, right? For them to shut off that revenue is impossible.
Got it.
And that's where people like us will come in, scale that revenue, and probably they'll invest, acquire, or probably shift.
So you need a Netflix to create that.
Correct.
Before you have the Hotstars and the Disneys.
Exactly.
Even then, I think there's an acquisition route.
Yeah.
That eventually they'll.
Got it. I mean, I don't think entertainment and EV are comparable because this is much less capital matlab ki entertainment, the cycle of feedback is much faster unless you're talking about movies. You put a show on TV and within like 7 days you know, okay. And the expense that has gone into it is also not that high.
Maybe similar to movies. How much does movie cost to like me?
Movies, anything.
Like 100 crores, 200 crores?
Yeah, it costs. I've never made, but from what I hear, it can cost anything, bro.
Yeah.
And I have heard that nobody actually knows how much it costs. Nobody really actually knows.
Yeah.
It's very comparable. Like a startup doesn't need more than 100, 200 crores to disrupt, right? To start.
I don't think that's true.
You need more.
Of course. How much did you raise in Ether?
A lot more,
Disrupting, right?
eventually.
Yeah. So
But that's like a 10-year movie.
You
Like,
need-
this is like a 3-month movie.
Yeah. To start an OEM business, you need a lot more capital, a $10-15 million. Without that entering, I think we hear a lot of EV startups failing, right? Where they are failing also is not having enough capital in place to take whatever products or technology that they're developing to market.
Yeah.
Initial capital in place, right? After that, the tech evolves. That's where I believe that's where the sad part of the EV ecosystem in the country is.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just again. You said so. I started doing analysis in my head. The thing is, like in entertainment, what happens is the product cycle is not comparable because you have a lot of technical standards to meet. We do have some standards to meet, but it's not as rigid. And the ticket size is like what a TV movie ticket costs, what, 500 rupees. And it's not a lifetime commitment also, like not a 10-year commitment that if now I watch only this movie every day, morning and evening, I watch this movie and I can't watch any other movie. I can watch other people watching their movie, but I can't watch. It's not like that. Like I'm comparing to
Yeah.
a bike, right?
No, I think I was making a point on channels.
Yeah,
And,
Right.
and platforms.
more on the platforms
right?
than
I'm talking
the
the,
movie.
the platforms of choice today and the channels of choice today are all startups.
Right.
Right? It's not cable.
Correct.
Right? It's I mean your 80% top of funnel is YouTube. Right?
Yeah.
We are advertising on Twitter, Instagram. So like it's all been startups in the last 20 years. They've disrupted that. So I think that's similarly what's happening. Because the fundamental platforms, the rules of the game have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's more. That's what more it feels like. That the startups are playing by slightly different rules than the bigger legacy brands. I don't know much. It just feels correct to say it. It feels like a nice sentence to say it. Friends, if you like this clip, then please go watch the entire episode and also subscribe to the channel for more such clips and episodes. Enjoy your life. Thank you very much.